Hi, I'm Ellen Connet. I live in the United States right now. During the war,
The 1971, the Independence War.
in 1971,
Yeah.
in the Independence War, I was working at Peace News in London, a weekly pacifist newspaper, and together with an editor, Roger Moody, we were considering what we could do to help the issue, to help the people. And we came up with forming a progressive relief organization called Operation Omega. And we worked on it for many weeks, and we consulted with the head of the War Resisters International, Devi Prasad, an Indian living in London. And we came up with this idea, and we proceeded to execute it. And we wrote about it in Peace News, and a lot of people said they wanted to join. And basically what we planned to do was to come to India and go up to border areas and cross those border areas with relief supplies to help the refugees who were too sick to cross into India, because they too needed help. And that was what we planned to do. And so we came to Calcutta. It was a number of us from London who came to Calcutta. And
How many of you came to Calcutta? Could you recollect that?
in the end, it was around 10 of us.
10 of you.
And we were helped by the Gandhi Peace Foundation in Calcutta. They were very helpful to us. We would go out during the day to the border areas to look around, and we would come back into Calcutta at night, and we would eat every night with the members of the Gandhi Peace Foundation in Calcutta. So it was very nice for us. We didn't have to worry about meals, and we ate with them, and we told them everything we were doing.
Mention the ambulance.
Oh, in the preparations of coming to London, to
India,
we had purchased a World War II ambulance,
Oh, I
quite
see.
a large vehicle, and we filled it with all kind of medical supplies, all kinds of things, absolutely stuffed everything in, and 2 members of our group drove it from London to Calcutta. Drove this World War II ambulance, so we had that. So to get to the bottom line here, many people wanted to help in this effort. Many people wanted to help the Bengalis. There was no question about that. It was only how could we do it when a dreadful war was taking place. It's very, very hard. So we were contacted by a Catholic priest who lived outside by the border area. He had heard about us, and he came to Calcutta and asked if we would go to Jessore because help was needed there. And we said yes, we would.
you know, I came from Jessore.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, and not very far from border. And I was a young boy. I observed that a lot of people, huge, they're traveling towards India through
right.
the road in front of our house.
That's right, you're correct. A lot of people did. Anyway, so we one night, we went, it was during monsoon time, the water was very high, we had a boatman, we came with a bale of saris, and we went to Jessore. And we were met by the Catholic mission in Jessore, and we said, just tell us what you need, what the people in the village need in Jessore, and we will try to accommodate this. We will try to fulfill what you need. That was our purpose. But the next morning, the Pakistani army heard we were there, and they came and got us. I was with a young fellow called Gordon.
Is there any Indian national with you in your team inside Bangladesh at that time?
Yes, there were 2 of us, and one was Gordon Slavin, and Gordon was an Australian, but he was in London at the time and had joined our team. It was an international team, Americans, British, Australians, and probably...
So Gordon also arrested?
And
along
pushed us into Jessore. They gave us a trial, 2-day trial, all in Bengali, and we were
Probably
sent...
urgent.
Well, I don't know, it was a Bengali judge,
Oh, okay.
so I'm not sure what the language was, but it wasn't English. And they wouldn't accept our defense, and our defense was,
So in fact it was a military court?
I guess it was a military court, I'm not quite sure. My advocate was not a military man, but he wasn't a friend either. Our defense, and I kept telling the lawyer, is that we were charged with illegal entry. And we said, well, we didn't find that the border was legitimate because it was blocking those who could help from those who needed that help. So we found that border...
Could you recollect the month or
Yes.
the date when you get arrested?
It was September.
September.
September 1971.
Right.
And so anyway, we got
Could you recollect the place where you get arrested?
in Jessore.
Yeah.
At the Catholic mission.
Oh, Catholic mission in the town.
Yeah, just...
You know, my paternal house is about 300 meters from the Catholic mission.
There you go. And while they were...
But our house was deserted at that time. We left our house and went to our village home.
Well, actually, there was another story. When they were marching us into Jessore with the military fellows, we came across an old man. And the military wanted him to come with us because they didn't like him. And he said no. And we're all standing there, and the military men are making him do something, and he goes, no. And they got, I thought they were going to shoot him. And he wouldn't do what they wanted. I'm not sure what they wanted him to do, and he just said no, like that. And he went like that, and then they didn't do anything to him, but he took a position.
Stubborn Bengali.
Yes, I was very worried. We were, you know. Anyway, so then we went to prison, the big prison in Jessore. That's where we ended up. I was with the women. Gordon was with the men. And I might say that all the prison guards were very professional in the situation. And a lot of the women I was with were refugees.
At that time, my maternal uncle was in the jail. Inside the jail, because the Rajakar captured him from his own home and put in that center, Jessore prison. His name was Rustam Ali Khan.
And look, we have a connection. We're both strangers, and we have a connection. Your uncle and myself were in the same Jessore jail at the same time.
Yes.
And tell him about discovering you were pregnant.
Oh, and during the time I was in, anyway, I was with women in the prison, and their children. And the youngest children, it was very little food, and they really were starving. The very youngest children. It was the hardest on them. It was hard. It was very hard. The women were wonderful, but it was the very young children.
And then tell them about forcing you to
Oh,
deliver a
right.
baby.
And we had some babies born in the jail, and for some reason we realized I was pregnant, and they would go Pakistani Pani, Pakistani Pani. It was like very fertile, and I'm pregnant. And the little ones were teaching me the language. They had more patience than the adults, and they were charming. So we made a go of it. And then and then a few days before the prison was liberated by the Indian Army, the Indians came over by our area like that.
You were at that time in the prison?
Yes, and they would dive bomb. I thought they were going to bomb us. Everybody was screaming, and they'd come over, dive bomb the area, dive.
So after independence on the 6th of December,
Yeah.
because Jessore was freed on 6th of December,
Yes.
you came out of jail.
I came out of jail, I think, on December 2nd. Or maybe it was the 6th, I'm not sure.
6th.
But the Indian Army entered Jessore, they liberated the prison, and all the prisoners left except there was one woman who was maintained. I think she killed her husband. And then we went back to Calcutta with an Indian major. And as we were going out to India, all the Indian Army equipment was coming in on that Calcutta Jessore road. All their tanks were coming in.
So you have a lot of contribution of our people during the distress period, during our independence war. And our government has honored you, both of you, and recognized your contribution.
Actually, we came back in 1996. We did Ellen and I were doing a tour of India, working on incinerators, fighting incinerators, and as a side trip, it's sponsored by out to be on the very day of the 25th anniversary, and we were able to walk downtown Dhaka to the big park, and we heard them singing Tagore all day long. We love Rabindranath Tagore. In London, Action Bangladesh, the Bengali students and some of our English activists would listen to Tagore's music on a gramophone record as we were working on campaign stuff.
So Alan and Paul, thank you very, very much. Thank you for your contribution to our independence war, and thank you, Mr. Nazrul Islam, for your help to bring all these two gentlemen and women to our museum to have a look and remember their past. Thank you very, very much.
Joy Bangla!